What's up, guys? Gordy Termolin at Termolin Motor Sales with episode 3 of Game Plan 2020. If you recall our first two lessons, we talked about building a culture of customer service and relationship-based business dealings. That was session 1. Session 2, we did a role play where we talked about bringing your values and actually displaying to your employees exactly how you want customers treated by asking them whether or not they did their job well. All right, session 3, we're going to talk about attitude a little bit. Now, nobody likes the attitude speech. The purpose of this is to convey your values by having them tell you what your values should be. So it's very simple. You have a classroom in front of you, or maybe you're on Facebook Live. Be a really good way to get your people together while everybody's sheltering in place. And what we're going to do is we're going to have this little class, and we're going to ask one simple question to your employees. What does success look like to you? Okay, now you're going to get a lot of answers out of that. The first 5 or 10 are going to come pretty simple. That's when you have to continue to ask them, well, okay, what else? What else? What else? So this is what it very often looks like. We get some values, and they'll say, a healthy person is successful. A rich guy is successful. Somebody that's a go-getter. And you go on and on and on. You're going to get different values like that. All right. Here's what you really need to do. You need to make sure that you get at least 30 to 50 answers from your people. All right. That's the first part. The second part is that we're then going to go back and we're going to ask our same people that just gave you these values, is that value a skill, something that you had to learn in class, or is it an attitude? Is it something that you just found out from when you talked to your mom and she taught you when you were a little kid and so forth? So, for example, being healthy can be a skill. It's also kind of an attitude. So we score it like this, all right? Being rich, is that a skill or an attitude? Probably an attitude, because you can be rich without having a lot of money. Are you a go-getter? Clearly an attitude, okay? As you go through the survey, a couple of different colored pens so they can see what you're doing, you're going to get a bunch of answers. And when you're done, it's going to look something like this. We did a little session with one of my employees here at the dealership where I actually got all these answers. So this is what I was able to pry out of one person. Take a long look at that. Read some of those. Stop your video if you need to so you can take a look at it. But these are the kind of things that you will typically get when you talk to your employees about what is successful. Then you're going to ask them, and you're going to break down skills and attitudes all the way through. Okay? When you run the math on this, what we've got there is about 65 answers. And when you break it down as how many A's and how many S's for skills, what you find is your employees have just told you that attitude runs about 65 to 70% of what causes success, and skills run 30 to 35%. I've done this for years. I've done it with large groups and small groups. The worst it ever was attitude was about 58%. And many times it's over 70%. So what has this got to do with what we're doing with core values for your business? This is your employees telling you that attitude means more than anything else. Now in our next session, what we're going to do is we're going to take this lesson and we're going to take the role play, we're going to tie them together, and we're going to talk about organizational structure. And it might just be that you've got the wrong organizational structure to let these values work for you. Until then, good selling. Have a great day.